Welcome to National Arts. I'm Mike Baker. One of the best-selling authors in America today is Garrison Keillor. In a moment, we'll talk to Garrison about his latest book and take a look at his stage show. But first, let's meet Mary Black, the most popular female vocalist in Ireland today, whose record sales are second only to that of U2. Not surprisingly, it's Mary's familial roots in Ireland which have contributed to the eclectic mix of pop, rock, and traditional Irish music for which she's best known.
Babes in the wood, walking through snow. Big bad wolf at the window. Not much choice in the matter now. Some must lead, some must follow. Touch can mean distance to some people, and touch can mean prison or be like a cage. I always thought that life could be more simple, especially in this day and age. They've got the time, they got the need. The world's getting weird, the wolf's running free. But that's another story. Ooh, this is their story.
From as far back as I can remember, I was singing, you know, and it was always just for pleasure. And that's something that both my parents passed on to us. I mean, they passed on the talent of singing, obviously, but they also passed on a great love of music. My father used to bring friends home, and there'd be live music, you know, traditional Irish music was what he was sort of more involved in and was his background. And there would be music in the house, there'd be instruments lying around, and we all just literally did take to it, yeah.
You had some success as a soloist and then decided to join a group. What prompted that?
Well, I suppose you could say I had some success in Ireland, but I really had very little experience outside of Ireland. And when Daedanan, who are a traditional Irish band, approached me to join their band, I was delighted because I knew it would give me the opportunity to travel in America and tour and be on the road with a band. It was a lot, all that side of it I really hadn't had much experience of. And also I was a fan of the band. I mean, they're a fantastic band altogether, and I knew that the experience would really stand to me. So I went ahead and I did gain. I was with them for 3 years. We toured, I think, we toured America about 6 times in those 3 years, and did a lot of touring in other parts as well. We, you know, and I did enjoy my time with them very much.
Farewell, my lovely Johnny. 1,000 times adieu. You are going away from the holy ground, and the ones that you love true. You'll sail the salt seas over, and then return for a shore to see again the ones you love and the holy ground once more. You're on the salt sea sailing, and I am safe behind. Fond letters I will write to you, the secrets of my mind, and the secrets of my mind, my love. You're the one that I adore, and still I live in hopes that you'll see the holy ground once more.
Some of the music on your new album has definite country roots to it. I mean, there's this woeful sound in some instances, and there's an up-tempo kind of pop country sound to some of your other pieces.
Well, you know, when I was growing up, I was listening to all kinds of music, you know, and obviously Irish traditional music and folk music was very played a big part in my career, starting off especially. But I was always very interested in all kinds of music, and certainly country would have been one of those influences. And I've listened a lot to country singers. But also I was listening to people like Billie Holiday and Aretha Franklin, Joni Mitchell, Bonnie Raitt, who, you know, wouldn't be strictly country either. So there were, you know, in a way I feel that what we do is a mixture of various different parts of different areas of music.
Exactly.
You know.
Flesh and Blood reminds me of a little bit of a country sound.
Yeah, well, Flesh and Blood is a song written by Shane Howard, who comes from Australia, and we were very taken by his music, and since then we brought him to Ireland with his band, and he's worked in Ireland. He's become quite popular there, and his albums are going to be released in Ireland. And I find Ireland is a very good judge. You know, when I think Nancy Griffith, people like Nancy Griffith and John Prine and Mary Chapin Carpenter, and a lot of these people who didn't really make it big, they made it big in Ireland before they made it big in their, you know, in America. And I think Irish audiences have a great judge of musicianship and talent. Now maybe, you know, I'm a bit biased, but I do feel that, yeah.
Can't go on, falling by a flooding river, keeping all that fear inside. I understand how trouble haunts you. It haunts me too. Yes, and I do know how you feel. Oh, there's 1,000 things to do. So let's start here with me and you. Gonna take a little time. Let's see what we can find. Oh, come on and walk with me, talk with me, tell me your stories. I'll do my best to understand you. Oh, won't you walk with me, talk with me, tell me your stories. I'll do my very best to understand you. Your flesh and blood, flesh and blood, flesh and blood.
One of the things that you've been quoted as having said is that Ireland allows you the opportunity to be able to step out of a given category, try another, and not be chastised for it. Look at this country. Look at Barbra Streisand. She did the Broadway album. Everybody laughed at her. In fact, she even makes a comment in one of the early songs at the beginning of the album, well, they may not think this is going to work or whatever, and it turned out to be a smash. People do not allow you the same leeway in this country as they seem to in Ireland. Is that true?
Oh, I've noticed that very much so. I mean, at home in Ireland, you know, you'd be liable on the national radio stations, and we don't have many radio stations, it's a small enough place anyway. You know, you would be liable to hear anything from classical to what I do, to the Chieftains, or something traditional, pop, rock, classic stuff, anything, you know, and it's all runs side by side. You don't come up against that resistance that I feel that one gets here, when, you know, music seems to be always have to be put into categories and boxes, and if you're in this box, then you can't be in that box, you know. And I feel that it puts me at a disadvantage, because I don't comfortably sit into any box. You know, I think, you know, you can't call our music folk music, because it's not strictly folk music, and you can't call it jazz, or you can't call it country, because it's not any one of those things. It might be all three, but it's not any one.
A number of writers have put together songs for you, and you seem to be able to embrace all of these compositions with equal relish. So the natural question would be, how much of this is the writing, how much of it is you and the way you sell a song? Have you ever thought about that?
Well, not a lot. I don't like to separate the two. I feel when I make an album or sing a song, I hate to separate them and say, well, 30% of the goodness of this song is the songwriter, and or 30% is mine, and 70% is the songwriter. Like, to me, it's a unit, it's one unit. It's very important for both of them to be good. And I think I have good songwriters, and I think I have a voice. And I think the combination of the two, you could call it 50-50, whatever. But I really feel that both of them are equally important, yeah.
It's really interesting with your songs. I get the feeling more than any other in recent times of someone telling a story.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you relate the music, it accentuates a storyline more so than most, I think.
Well, I think that's an important part of you know, if you're trying to sing a song and get a point across or tell a story, because a lot of songs are stories, snippets of people's lives, whatever. There's one song on the album called The Loving Time, which starts off, it reads like a fairy tale, and that's what it was.
That she'd be the one he adored, and he'd be her heart's desire. It didn't come true in the end. They went their separate ways. He couldn't change what he was. She wasn't ready to wait. They couldn't live in the daylight, would let the night close in.
You know, there were so many people come up to me and say, that was me, that song was written for me. You know, because it's, so many people have had that experience, you know.
I hear a definite innocence in your voice and the way you relate these stories. Has anyone ever pointed that out?
No, but maybe there is an innocence, because I'm not really, I like to do what I feel I need to have control over what I do in an innocent kind of way. I mean, I would never compromise the music for, you know, fame or fortune, you know. And I also have a great respect for what I have at home, and the quality of life I have at home, and the band feel the same way. We all have family and stuff, and you have to weigh up both of those things and measure them out and not neglect either one. I mean, I really want to sing, and I want to, I suppose, be successful, if you like, but it's more important for me to enjoy what I do and to cherish what I have at home.